中島さんは今何をおっしゃいと言いますか。あなた遅いです。
The next movie is Lucy, which is about a woman who slowly develops the ability to use 100% of her brain. Apparently nowadays they think we only use 10% of our brain. I don't know how they come across that information, but I can tell you when I was a kid, the scientists were saying that we were using 1% of 10% of our brain, which is significantly lower. But if you're studying acting, you got to check out Scarlett Johansson's acting ability. It is beyond belief in this movie. It's incredible. She is like the best actress I've ever seen in my life. This girl is really spot on with her character, completely flawless, except at the end, because the director, and I suspect possibly Johansson as well, didn't know how to form the character once her mind developed the ability to understand 20% or more. All it means when you use 100% of your brain's capacity is that you have full awareness of everything. That's all it means. And that should produce not this, like I can understand where initially her face would go and her emotions would go like Spock from Star Trek, completely bland, which is how they carried out her actions after she developed the use of 20%, gradually increasing the ability to use her brain as she force-fed herself that drug that caused her to have her brain enhance itself. What it would produce is a complete euphoria, like happiness, to know 100%, to have 100% of your brain activity occurring, because all it means, like I said, is just a complete and 100% awareness of everything. You know everything there is to know. This story is about a woman who has got this real shady boyfriend, and he knows something's up. He's got to make this final delivery. He knows something's up. He suspects they're going to kill him. So he talks her into doing the dirty deed for him and going in there with the suitcase full of drugs and getting his money. Unfortunately for him, there's a sniper waiting outside that shoots his ass dead. They grab her, take her upstairs. She meets the mob boss, one of the dragons. Completely lethal character in this film, greatly played. I love the part where they get her to open up the suitcase to have a look at the drugs, but everybody leaves the room and goes around the corner because they suspect the suitcase is going to blow up in her face. And the way Johansson handles that is so superb. If you're not into science fiction, you should just go see this movie, just see how Johansson handles her character. She does such an excellent job. You'd enjoy that very much. Anyway, she opens up the drug case, and the blue globules are there. Apparently they're natural. They're found in the female body for enhancing the brain. But there's huge amounts and they're synthetic. The mob boss wants to sell them in Europe first, so that's why he's got these 3 packets of them. And so he takes her, knocks her out, her and 3 other guys, and they cut their bellies open, insert packets of drugs, these packets of drugs inside their bellies, and then get them ready to be sent to Europe to make a delivery where they'll be sliced open again, the drugs are removed. Supposedly they're going to be killed anyway. But the Johansson character is down in the basement, held as a prisoner while she slowly heals. But one of the guards tries to make a play for her breast, so she gives him a hard time, and he gets all upset and mad, and he starts kicking her in the stomach. That's when the drug vial or drug package splits open, spills the drugs into her body, and enormous amounts, and she becomes aware, and it just takes her over, and she can use her mind from that point on to get out of her difficulty and do just about anything she wants, but she's only limited by the amount of drug that she's taking. She goes to a doctor's, she gets our surgeon, she forces him at gunpoint to take the packet out of her. She takes the packet with her on the plane. I don't know how she got it on the plane, but apparently she can change her looks anyway, so I guess maybe she masked the minds of the airport authority who allow you on the plane, so they didn't see the drug. She gets on the plane, her body, her molecules start becoming disintegrating, so she forces herself to take the last of the drugs to get her hands back, because like she's just got no fingers left. She's in the washroom, handling falling apart, her teeth are falling out. And the drugs work. She becomes even more enhanced at 46%. She goes all the way to Italy and France, and that's where the matter is settled in France. She meets the professor, played by Morgan Freeman. Freeman's character in this movie, there's a lot of criticism, he's so boring and straightforward, he's just doing these lectures. Well, that's exactly how a professor would behave at his age, at his mental level. This is no different than any professor I've ever seen. This is how they behave. This is how they talk. Morgan Freeman's character is in this movie so that we're not completely lost by what's going on, because she doesn't really know what's going on other than the fact that she's becoming increasingly more aware. After creating this flash drive full of her information, probably 80 gigabytes, I don't know, whatever's in it, she goes into this time travel mode. She travels back in time from the point of being in France, goes back in time. She watches time unravel before, all the way back to the dinosaur age, all the way before that, and to the times when the Earth was hit by another planet, and then she goes before that, before the supernova blast that created our particular solar system. And that's where the movie ends. She just becomes absorbed in the beginning of existence. Now, from what I know of physics and time travel and whatnot, they got it right. Because if you're going to travel back in time, you do it through your essence, which is what I call it. Other people, religious people, call it your spirit. It is the only way you can travel back in time, and the director got this spot on. We do know time travel exists because we do it all the time. Human beings in orbit, presently there's atomic clocks, which have proven that the faster you go, the more you go ahead in time. The biggest question being, why does this happen? And personally, I believe that it's because when the Big Bang occurred, all matter was the size of the tip of your finger, about pea size. And when the Big Bang occurred, I believe the explosion, everything in life and existence occurred instantly, and that the strings of energy, based upon string theory in mechanical physics, are still all connected to the origins of the Big Bang. So you have all these strings originating, coming out, but they're not just straight, they're like looped. And that time is based upon the trough or the peak of the loop, and that you could fracture time into several different microseconds from its origins. So therefore, if you're going faster than you actually should, you're dragging your particular strings on a different frequency, so that you're going at a faster rate. So therefore, time is moving by quickly because you're perceiving the strings of energy which show us life only at the light level, because that's all we can see with our eyes is light. You're seeing things speed up because you're hovering or you're moving fast across these loops of time from the original. You're traveling across the top. The faster you go, the more you're bypassing these loops by going this way, making your own loops going like that when the troughs are actually deeper. So therefore you're passing by the time strings of energy. And to someone who's within these bigger loops of energy, natural time, and you're looking up and you're seeing someone traveling through a faster, they're doing a less of a trough, they're looking like they're not moving much at all, and that's why time travel exists. I don't know if you understand. I don't know if you understand that, but it's in physics. You can check it out. That's my theory anyway, why this time travel exists. Going back in time is a different problem. Anyway, it's a great movie. You'll enjoy it. It gives you lots to think about. The audience loved it. Generally, there wasn't a lot of elderly people in this movie, as there was in the Most Dangerous Man, or a Most Wanted Man movie with Hoffman. This was a movie with mostly university students.